Welcome back, everyone. It's Eric from Rare Candy, and here today we are back on PTCGO yet again, taking a look at another expanded deck. We did check out Mad Party last week, but I've been having some fun in the expanded format here, and decided to finally try out Togekiss VMAX. This is one of the few VMAXs we had not yet been able to cover here on the channel. So I felt like expanded might be a little bit more interesting since we do have access to double colorless energy in that format. So that's what we are going to be largely experimenting with here today with Togekiss. But before we get too deep in this video, guys, if you guys can't, remember, smack that like button. It genuinely really does help this video get seen by more people on YouTube. And if you need any cards to complete this deck or any others, you guys can check out our friends at PTCGOstore.com. Use that coupon code RARECANDY at checkout to save yourself some money. And of course, our patrons have an exclusive discount code of their own at patreon.com/RareCandyTCG for an even bigger discount. But hopping back into the actual deck, as you guys can see, all we have is a 4/4 Togekiss VMAX line here. We're just playing this for the max glide attack for 2 colors, does 120, which, at a glance is not too great, but we can't overlook that secondary effect. It says search your deck for up to 2 cards, put them into your hand. So this is going to allow us to get anything we want. Basically set up our next turn to unfold exactly as we may want it. So, a lot of times something like a Professor's Research is nice because you can discard your hand, draw 7, but how many of those cards are actually exactly what you want on your next turn? So instead of going for, heavy draw options with things like the Denes, Crobats, all that stuff, we're just focusing on choosing exactly what we want every turn to ensure that we can, just carve a path to victory with the exact cards that we want to find at any given point. So that is what the whole engine's going to be based around, this and Green's Exploration. These are our main ways of finding cards in the deck. So since we have no Pokemon with abilities, Green's is a fantastic card for a deck like this. But we do still have some draw options. We have 4 copies of Cynthia and 3 copies of N as well. Just because we don't have the luxury of playing things like the Dene and stuff like that. So we do still need to supplement our draw with other supporters in this deck. But basically every turn we are aiming to just do 120 and heal off our Togekiss in the process while kind of disrupting our opponent. So the main way we're going to do that is with Max Potion. This is an insane card with Pokemon VMAX. I'm actually very grateful we don't have this in standard format at the moment, just because Max Potion, you heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy from that Pokemon, which is absolutely nuts when we have Pokemon with over 300 HP. And this just combos so nicely with single attachment attackers like Togekiss. So of course, not only do we have double colorless energy here in the expanded format to make use of, but also we have triple acceleration, which pairs so nicely with Max Potion in particular, because we can throw down triple acceleration, do 120, we discard this, our opponent hits back into us, and we can play Max Potion, not even needing to discard any energy in the process. But beyond Max Potion, we do have 2 copies of Acerola in this deck as well. So this is a card that we still have in Expanded. We put one of our Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and all cards attached to it back into our hand. So between 2 Acerola, 4 Max Potion, and the 4 Reverse Secret, we have plenty of ways at reusing these supporters. And a common thing you might see in Expanded is supporters like Acerola just being played as a one-of, but I really don't want to chance prizing Acerola. And an extra way of denying, an attack is going to be good. So I don't mind the extra copy of Acerola that might look a little bit, a little bit more like a luxury inclusion for most other sorts of decks. But I think it's totally warranted in a deck like Togekiss. So those are sort of our main strategies in terms of staying alive. We also have the 1 weakness policy to make sure lightning Pokemon can't just blow over us. Pikarom is still something that is kind of a thing that you'll run into from time to time in Expanded. But basically, between all of our healing, we want to just kind of annoy our opponent and disrupt them every turn as well. So we have 3 copies of Enhanced Hammer. Enhanced Hammer is really good in Expanded since Special Energy is very prevalent, in that format. So being able to just discard a special energy, very good. For the same reason, we also have a copy of Faba in the deck as well. Faba can put a special energy into the Lost Zone, but we can also do the same thing to Pokemon Tools or a Stadium of Choice as well. But not every deck is going to play special energy, so we do have 1 copy of Team Flare Grunt as well. We can discard any energy attached to our opponent's active Pokemon. Speaking of disruption stuff, we also have 3 copies of Silent Lab. This is going to be a pretty important card, especially like if you're going first. Like, what I found with this deck is you typically want to go first because you really need that extra turn to evolve into Togekiss VMAX. But the issue in Expanded is so many decks can have really insane first turns if they're going second. So we need a way at, turning off those powerful basic abilities to make sure our opponent can't probably take a knockout on us on the first turn. But even beyond that, Silent Lab is good throughout the course of a game, shutting off those Dedennes, those Eldegoss, those Crobat, whatever it might be. We also have a copy of Wondrous Labyrinth Prism Star in the deck as well. We are playing triple acceleration energy, so this pairs pretty nicely. Wonder Lab is going to increase our attack costs for all non-fairy Pokemon by 1 colorless energy. So that's really impactful in a deck like this that is aiming to sort of disrupt our opponent every turn. We have triple acceleration to play around this ourselves, and combined with all of our energy denial cards, Wonder Lab can be a pretty oppressive stadium if it sort of goes unchecked in play. See, we also have a copy of Pokemon Ranger in the deck. This is going to be important for a few things. It has remove all effects of attacks on each player and his or her Pokemon. We are a very item reliant deck, so if we are playing against something like an item lock deck, Pokemon Ranger can be good at nullifying those effects. Also against things like the Sonic Volume attack that Noivern GX has, that prevents us from attaching special energy. That would be pretty bad if our opponent gets that off, so we need Ranger for that. Alter Creation. So Ranger, just a super good card in the expanded format, I think, at this current time of recording. Let's see, we have a copy of Energy Lotto. This is going to be to find our special energies. Right now with greens, we can only get trainer cards. So if we want to get energies, we need trainer cards that will allow us to search those out. So we have Energy Lotto, which just allows us to look at the top 7 cards of our deck to get an energy, but also we have the 1 copy of Computer Search for a similar reason. Computer Search, this is going to be your ace spec of choice. Discard 2 cards from hand, search your deck for any card. So this is a lot of the time going to be our greens target for a double colorless energy. But Computer Search is just good at finding whatever we might want at a given point. I think this ace spec slot is actually really flexible though. I know Computer Search can be kind of a difficult card to get in the expanded format. So if you have Dowsing Machine or even Scoop Up Cyclone, I actually think all of those cards, or even Life Dew, actually could be kind of good in this deck too. But I think this ace spec slot is pretty flexible, so feel free to experiment with Dowsing Machine, Scoop Up Cyclone, etc. if you don't have access to Computer Search or just want to try out some different ace specs in here. But most of the other stuff in this deck is going to be pretty straightforward outside of our tool cards. Like I already mentioned, we have the 1 weakness policy, but we also have the 1 copy of Hero's Medal. This is a card I, by and large, really haven't been that enthusiastic about. But in this particular deck, I actually kind of do like it because it reduces our HP by 100, which doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense since we're a deck that is trying to stay alive. But we give up 1 fewer card, or 1 fewer prize card whenever we get knocked out. And that's really big because right now, against this deck, your opponent has to knock out 2 Togekiss VMAX. But if your first or second Togekiss that goes down has a Hero's Medal attached to it, they now have to knock out 3 Pokemon in total to win the game. So a lot of times this can actually allow you to set up another Togekiss throughout the course of a game. But that is going to be the list we are going to be trying out, guys. I know we had a lot of cards to go over, but I've been having a lot of fun with Togekiss in general, and I've actually been experimenting with a different version of this deck that is revolving around Garbodor as well. So if you guys want access to this bonus Garbodor list for Togekiss, I will have a link down below in the description. Our patrons at patreon.com/rarecandytcg will have access to that. So go feel free to check that out whenever you get a chance as well. But with all that out the way, let's hop into some games and see how Togekiss is going to fare. Okay, so let's call the flip, which we do win, so we will choose to go first. Okay, so as long as we can get a Silent Lab, that's kind of like the main thing we want to see here. Not too much indication what we're playing against just yet. Now, unfortunately, this hand, not the best opening. We don't have a lab or a second Togekiss, because those are usually like the 2 big things you want to see. If you don't have your lab to slow them down, you kind of want another Togekiss in case your active does get bulldozed, which... Okay, it's lightning, it looks like. So there's a chance we're not going to survive another turn, but we'll see what happens. There's a compressor, okay. Now there is a chance this could be like a Mewtwo Mew deck since they're playing the Mewtwo coin, which would be good for us. And that's what it does appear to be so far. Okay, so if this is a Mewtwo Mew deck, we actually should have a really good shot against that because we play these Silent Labs and we play like a billion energy denial cards. So as long as we don't get hit with like a Horror House GX by Gengar Mimikyu, I think we can probably win this one, guys. That's the only thing I am kind of worried about, currently at least. Okay, playing the Nagagas. Ooh, Crisis Find is kind of annoying, but we do play, heavy Acerola count in this deck, so far nothing I don't think we can get past. Okay, there's a Quick Ball, so I imagine if they don't have a supporter, we're going to see a Dedenne. Ooh, now if they actually get a very quick, not Sonic Volume, but Distort off of Noivern, that would feel bad. That pains me because Noivern's my homie. That's like one of my favorite dragon types. That actually seems like probably the most likely scenario if they do find their Dimension Valley. So it's going to be Tag Call. If we can just have our items for one turn, like just one turn, I think we can probably survive the beginning of this game here. Okay, so cool. We managed to knock an item block. That's really big. So we'll just go for the Enhanced Hammer right out the gate here. And now we can probably set up a little bit easier. And we'll just go for the Cynthia. So we want to find Silent Lab, maybe? Do we need Silent Lab this turn? I'm trying to think, do we, like, how important is it for us to... I think we can save this hand. I'm going to grab a Ranger preemptively here as well, I think. So we'll say sure. So we'll definitely grab Ranger and probably a Silent Lab from there. Don't want to reveal what we have just yet, so that should be okay. So kind of hoping they do go for the Distort so we can just Ranger them immediately. Oh, but Incineroar GX actually is something that could be a nuisance for us as well. So really hoping our opponent does get down the first stadium now, because this guy is going to be kind of a pain for us to grapple with. So we might see a Guzma and Hala if they're going for the Attack Call, but just another Mewtwo Mew. Okay. Guzma Hala seemed like probably a likely addition here, but okay, so they have it already. So more than likely, we're going to see the first stadium come down for them. Probably Dimension Valley. That's fine. There's going to be the Fury Bell. Fury Bell doesn't really change too much for us, though, because we have to three-shot them no matter what. But that's fine by me. So probably a Distort, I would imagine. Yes, that seems good for them. We do need to find another Versus Seeker, though. Or a Versus Seeker, I should say. So we'll just go for Ranger. Enhanced Hammer yet again. Silent Lab. What do we get rid of? Because I think we do want to Verse Seeker for Ranger again. We'll do this no matter what. It's just a matter of what do we get rid of. Maybe a Togekiss V. I think we can like maybe live with that. And maybe an Acerola. I don't hate that either. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go ahead and do here. So go for the Ranger just in case, but I'm really hoping between the E-Hammer and the Lab we have what we need to just kind of hang in there for a turn. We could Max Potion, but I'm more worried about this Incineroar if they do have the means to attack, and Cineroar's GX attack can just cause them to one-shot us. So just gonna go for the Max Glide here. Yes, we would like to search your deck. Or just go for an Enhanced Hammer. Well, let me see. Are we out of them? Ooh, we are. So we did prize our third one. Feels bad. So maybe a Faba just in case. Huh. And maybe a Togekiss VMAX. I don't hate that, because if they knocks out with Incineroar, we can go Togekiss N, try to hit what we need. So I think maybe we'll do this. But if they don't have what we need, if they don't have what they need, and they just attach return, we can just go Faba, attack, evolve. Or Faba, evolve, attack. So here's the Prism Energy. Do they have the Stadium counter? Because again, I'm imagining they want to go for... Actually, no, because they need multiple energies, right? It's not... Yeah, it's 3. Okay, so they actually would need more than this. So I was worried for nothing. I was in the minds of like... I was thinking Outrage on Reshizard cost 2 energy, but... Okay, so this is actually pretty workable. We'll just evolve into this homie over here. Go for the Faba on the Prism Energy, and just go for the Max Glide. So, feeling kind of okay about this. So yes, we would like to search our deck. I think I'm just going to go for probably a triple acceleration. Yeah, I don't want to get too low on our double colorless energies before we've used all of our max potions, so we're going to spread things around with that. Oh, here we just get the victory screen. So, yeah, we kind of had our opponent locked down pretty good there. They couldn't really escape from it at that point. So, okay, so planning to get Shining Lancer, and we are going to lose the flip. More than likely, we're going to... Okay, opponent's going to go first. Not used to that in the old expanded format. It's typically pretty aggressive. You typically want to go second because... Normally most expanded decks do a lot of crazy stuff on turn 1. Okay, so this is a pretty workable hand. I think for the moment we'll just lead things off with the 1 Togekiss V for the moment. They can't NS turn 1, they don't have, like, Let Loose Marshadow is banned. So I think right now we're okay. Also, this seems like a matchup should be okay for us. We are going to resist fighting, so it's going to add a little bit to our tankability. So yeah, I think in theory this should be a matchup that seems pretty decent for us. And I might even lead the game with Wonder Labyrinth, to be honest, guys, because this will buy us a turn of not getting attacked. See, we're gonna 2-shot Coalossal, or 3-shot Coalossal VMAX no matter what, so I don't think we need to attach just yet. So I think we're just gonna go for the greens before doing anything else. What do we even want? I mean, our hand honestly looks like really good for the next turn. Could just go for another Nest Ball, try to set up another Togekiss. I don't hate that. And maybe even... I don't want to play the Enhanced Hammer because that reveals that we have that. So I kind of want to go for the hammer after the... I think maybe we'll just go for another greens, to be honest, guys. Greens and Nest Ball, and call it a day from there, I think. So I'll just get this down, and from there, I think we're okay to just sit on this hand. I'll get down an energy preemptively just in case of like an N or something like that. Yeah, we'll just do that and pass over to our opponent here. So hopefully the lab does buy us a turn. Coalossal doesn't need a whole lot of energy to get up and running. So we just kind of want to prevent this initial attack that they're probably going to have. But I think this should be a good matchup for us just because they need a lot of energy to be able to attack. Fighting in Expanded has a ton of good special energy. Of course, we have Stone Energy from Standard, but we also have Strong Energy back from Furious Fist. So more than likely they're playing some combination of both of those, I would imagine. Maybe even just like 4 of each. And a couple basic fightings and call it a day, since the the VMAX can accelerate either one. Seems like an option, but here they're going to go for the Magcargo. So this is one way. This is another way they can play around our Silent Lab later on, but I don't think our ability lock's going to matter too much after, as the game goes on here. Unless they're playing like a heavy Dedenne Crobat engine or something like that. So there's the smooth over. Maybe we're going to see like a research after they smooth over. Hard to say. Okay, so that seems pretty cool. Going for our lab would have been a little bit more annoying for them, it looks like, but either way, this still might buy us a turn, because after they get off their first attack with Coalossal, Wonder Lab doesn't matter too much. So even if we have to bump our own Wonder Lab this turn, I'm cool with that. Okay, so we don't even have to. So we're just going to greens for the moment, go for E-Hammer, and we have Evolution Incense in hand. I think from there, we're just going to go for the... Maybe just... Maybe just another greens, to be honest. Yeah, right now our hand looks pretty good. Don't really need too much of anything else. So we'll do that, go for the Evolution Incense, grab this homie over here, and we'll just go for the Max Glide. So after this turn, I think we can probably safely get rid of our Wonder Lab. Well, actually no, if we can keep getting rid of their energy like this, I think this is probably okay. So we'll just do that, and I think I might even just do like 2 triples to give us some... So we don't have to keep grabbing energy for the next couple turns if we keep this in play. Because we can greens for anything else we really need. So I think I'm cool just to do this. Because we can greens for Enhanced Hammer next turn. Evolution Incense if we want another one of these. Oh, they're playing Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball actually is a pretty cool card in this deck here. Because Coalossal obviously is like uber thick, and so is the Magcargo, and even the Slugma. So that's actually a really cool engine. I do like this. I forgot about Heavy Ball and the old expanded format. There's going to be the end. That's a bit of a bummer. But nevertheless, I mean, we're still in an okay spot, guys. We have Enhanced Hammer ready to go. So I feel okay about this. We aren't going to have an attack, unfortunately, unless we top deck a triple or a Silent Lab. Or I guess a greens, or yeah, we have a lot of outs. We could hit Versus Seeker, Computer Search, Energy Lotto, a lot of ways we can still attack. Worst case next turn, I might just use Faba for the turn to get rid of that, since we don't have another supporter to play. So let's see what we're going to get here. Okay, we do get Cynthia. So I think from there, we'll just go for the Evolution Incense for this guy. Go for the Enhanced Hammer there, and go for the Cynthia. So you really want to find triple, or even a DC would be okay too. We do whiff, feels bad. So we'll just go for the Nest Ball just to thin more cards out of our deck. And from there, we just have to pass, because unfortunately our lab is stopping us from attacking, but at least it's keeping our opponent at bay as well. So just going to have to pass. Now, if they're playing healing cards like Mallow and Lana, or like Hyper Potion, or Max Potion more than likely in Expanded, that's unfortunate because we're giving them time to find those healing cards since we're not putting on a lot of pressure onto them right this second. Okay, so they do have the basic fighting. That's a little bit more annoying for us, so we aren't going to be able to just hammer these things to death. But we do have Flare Grunt in the deck, so that's like one way we can try to deal with these as well. But Flare Grunt, we do have to find that. That's part of the issue here. Okay, so we'll do this right here. And probably just go for the... Do we attempt to keep the Wonder Lab in play? I think we're going to for the moment. It's a pretty annoying card, so let's just do this. No energy yet again. Holy crap. Yeah, just a pass. Feels bad. So it definitely feels like we're starting to let this game slip through our fingers. Again, partially my fault. I could have gone for the greens to guarantee the, like the computer search for energy, but kind of wanted to... You always kind of like want to save your computer search for like the absolute perfect moment. I was thinking, you know, if we just hit an energy off Cynthia, even if it's double Colorless energy, we can attack with this guy. So let's see if they're actually going to find what they need to attack. They still need a Coalossal VMAX and a Float Stone or switching card of some sort and an energy, but they can get the energy with the Mag Cargo if they do need to. Acerola. Okay, so probably okay that we didn't attack them just because they would have just healed anyways. So this is going to be a long grindy game, I sense, but I think there is a shot that we end up coming out ahead in this. But I don't know, they could be playing more healing stuff than we are. We have 4 Max Potions, 2 Acerolas, a bunch of Versus Seekers, so maybe it's a good thing I've not burned my Versus Seekers just yet. So I'll go for the Evolution Incense here. And we could just go for greens, go for E-Hammer. I think we're going to. I'm sick of like giving our opponent time to actually get set up. So we're gonna go for the greens, computer search, E-Hammer, and that should be what we need to get up and running. So toss away, I think just both ends. I want to save all of our healing, to be honest here. So we'll do this, Enhance Hammer, get rid of that stone energy, and let's go for the Max Glide. So yes, we will search our deck. So what do we want? Probably a Versus Seeker. No, we want to save those for our Acerolas, so probably a triple and a green seems okay to me. So there are 3 special energies down so far. That's good for us. And we're out of Enhanced Hammers as well, so Fob is going to be an increasingly good... Maybe we should have actually gone for Fob instead of greens. It actually might have been a little bit better in hindsight, but there's going to be the end, so it doesn't even matter at this point. So let's see what we can get here. Okay, Lab works, Acerola works. I kind of want to just go for Acerola, potentially. And just put 2 like DCEs here on this other VMAX. That seems okay. Yeah, because the longer we can force them to keep committing energies, the better, really. All right, so we're just going to go for the Acerola. So we'll get this down. Not too worried about, even if they like boss this up and knock it out, doesn't even matter because they still have to knock out 2 VMAXs, so it's probably not in their best interest to do that. So at this point, we'll probably just go for... Does it matter if we use triple versus DCE? I'm gonna go for DC just in case of an N, because I don't want both of these energies on this Togekiss and then we lose our way to Acerola. So yes, we will search our deck. Gonna grab Acerola. Again, I want to save our Versus Seekers as much as possible because we might even need them for Fabas at some point as well. So sure, we'll just do this. Now, one thing that is a bummer for us is Macario can guarantee an end like basically every turn. But more than likely, they're going to want to attack us with their second attack, so they might even have to burn some smooth overs just to make that happen. Okay, there's going to be an Acerola. Okay. That's not an end, so I'm actually kind of fine with that, if that's what it comes to. Now, they can't actually attack this turn, so do they play stadiums? That's another thing we have not yet seen at all. So, yeah, we'll evolve this guy. And, yep, we're just going to go for the Max Glide. I think this time we will actually go for our Faba here. And maybe even Flare Grunt. I don't hate that. So they also play 2 Acerola, but they've actually played the first of their healing cards. So there is a world where we come out like ahead in that exchange. So this is going to be a long one, guys. If this game makes it into our video, this is probably going to take up most of the actual video itself. I think this video, if anything, I think this will be a good learning lesson if they're playing Max Potions as well. Why that should not be printed in a format with tag team or VMAX Pokemon, I mean. So we'll just retreat here. They probably are going to Ace Roll again, but I'm fine with that. We're just going to go for the Max Glide. Well, actually, maybe we should have just attacked this guy in hindsight. But this is still okay. They have 2 energies, so they can bypass our Wonder Lab next turn anyway, so we'll just do this. Go for greens, go for Ranger, maybe. Or I don't think we need Ranger, so let's just go for the DC in case they have like enhanced hammers or anything like that. That's the one thing we definitely could lose to at this point because we are out of triples. We only have our 3 DCEs left at this point. So we need to make sure they don't have a way at removing all of those. Now, if they do, we're probably going to lose. If not, I think there's a good chance we can outlast our opponent here. There's going to be Verseeker, probably going to go for, okay, Acerola. So how many Verseekers are they down? They're down just 1 Verseeker. Wait. Okay, and 2 Acerola, whereas we are only down 1 and 1. Okay, there's the Eruption Shot. This is where things get a little bit more complicated because I want to start removing their energy. I want to like start fobbing them, but I don't want all of this to go down. I think we have to Acerola. Yeah, I think we finally have to bump our stadium. Wonderlab, you had a good run. You know, you did what you're here to do, but it's time we start having to put on a little bit of pressure this way instead. And from there, we're just going to go for the old Max Glide, I suppose. Probably grab Hero's Medal, and I think that's it. I really don't think we want anything else. Okay, maybe a Verse Seeker. I'm honestly worried about decking at this point. Yeah, we'll just go for the Hero's Medal, leave it at that. So now they can't use Primate Wisdom. That's like one good bit of good news that we have going for us. So they're not going to be able to chain those Versus Seekers like they were able to do before. Now, we have not seen any saves. That's the one thing I've been very curious to see. There's going to be Guzma. I'm actually totally cool with that because, again, if they do knock this guy out, it actually does not affect the final prize exchange, but it does sort of take away our option of using Hero's Medal. That's the one thing I don't like about it. There's the G-Max Boulder. That's cool. Let them get the prizes. I'm fine with that. So this turn, however, I think we will go for... We're going to do a few things here. So we're going to get rid of their Muscle Band. And we're also going to Faba and get rid of their Strong Energy as well. Actually, might have been better to get rid of the Stone just because that is going to make us need to attack them multiple times in a row. But overall, I feel kind of okay about the state of the game. So we'll just go for the Max Glide. I don't think there's anything we want to get, so we're just going to click no for the moment. Again, I'm just wondering about their stadiums. Maybe they're just playing like a one of Chaotic Swell. That's one of the only things I can really think of. So how much energy is gone? We have one Strong there. 2, 3. So they have 4 energy gone. There's another G-Max Boulder. That's cool. We can work with that. I think we're actually just going to Faba yet again. I know this is not an Acerola, but we do have Max Potion, and I don't think they're playing any energy denial, so I'm just going to do that. Max Potion this guy off, and we do need to be careful about these Max Potions at this point, guys. So we'll just retreat over here and go for the Max Glide yet again. Yeah, we'll just go for the Versus Seeker. Here's a Versus Seeker. Probably going for an Acerola. That is definitely probably their best play here if they do want to do that. Luckily we do have Flare Grunt, which, because they're probably smart enough to not put down the special energies at this point. There's gonna be Field Blower, okay. We do still have another lab though. see, they've used 2 Acerola, 2 Verseeker. We could Max Potion again and Flare Grunt, which I'm kind of okay with. I actually don't think we need a Max Potion. Yeah, I think we're actually just going to Flare Grunt here. And here we'll just go for the Max Glide. I'm going to say no, we don't need to search your deck. Right now it's looking like we're going to deck, so we're definitely going to need that end that is still sitting in our deck here. Okay, so now's when we can actually use the... Yeah, I think we have to Max Potion. So this is our last double color synergy. We basically just have to make sure they don't play any energy deny, otherwise we are basically done here. So we'll just do this and go for the Faba yet again. And just go for the Max Glide. Yes, I know we have Silent Lab in hand, but we're gonna have to end pretty soon, so sure, we'll just grab the Versus Seeker. That's fine. So this is really gonna come down to the wire. If they play just like one Faba or one Flare Grunt or something like that, we're just gonna lose. But in theory, we should have another DCE left in deck. So hopefully that at least tells our opponent that that might not be a worthwhile strategy going forward, just because if they played something like that, they would want to do it to ensure they... Now, I don't think they play it. I think we're actually probably safe. I'm overthinking it too much here. So let's play out the next couple turns. We need to Acerola next turn. So we're gonna draw, go down to 1 card, Verseeker for Acerola, then after that we end. Yeah, I think that's our game plan at this point. So no, we don't want to search your deck. How much energy does our opponent play? That's another question too. There's going to be Verseeker. There's me Acerola, okay. Okay. So absolutely no matter what, we have to go for Acerola at this point. And this actually helps make our deck a little bit thicker for after we end next turn as well. So just gonna go for the Max Glide. No, we don't want to search your deck, otherwise we're just gonna lose. I'm trying to think, if we do lose, is there any place we really went wrong this game? Like, I don't know if it was maybe too greedy going for the energy denial strategy. Like, maybe we should have been saving those Versus Seekers for Acerolas. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and rewatch this game to see if there's anything we should have done differently. How many Versus Seekers are they down? 3. Okay. So I think they're actually out of energy at this point. So yeah, we're just gonna go for the N. Okay, so now we have quite a few more turns to make this happen. How many Verse Seekers are we down? All 4? Yeah, so Oh wait, can we win in 7 turns? That's kind of the question, actually. I'm honestly not sure about that because they can still. They've not actually used their ace spec either. Ooh, I actually think we might lose, guys. But they're having to deck themselves as well, so that's like one thing we do have going for us. So let's just go for the... Yeah, we'll just go for the Max Glide. No, we don't want to search our deck. Yeah, I think we still actually might deck. It depends on what our opponent's going to do. We need... How many ends? I think we only play 3 N in this list as well, so we're not going to be able to reset our hand again. Yeah, I think actually we may have mismanaged. I think now that I'm thinking about it, I think some turns where we were drawing off of Max Glide, we probably should have just not. Because now we're in a spot where I'm not sure if we can actually... I'm not sure if we can last long enough at this point. Like, if they can just keep healing, I think we just lose that way. Okay, but we are going to be able to finally get a knockout. It's good. So we'll go for the Max Glide here. No. I really wish we would have taken a KO prior to this end. That way we could have... Okay, we do get Cynthia. Cynthia is still a way to reduce our hand size, believe it or not. And double color synergy. So double color synergy is like the big thing I wanted to see there, just in case there was any sort of like random one of E-Hammer shenanigans or anything like that. So yeah, we're just going to go for the Max Glide yet again. So maybe we actually still can win since we have Cynthia. That is going to actually buy us some time. Let's see. They should have one versus Secret left, but it could be prized. That is a genuine consideration. Okay, so now I think we actually just win, guys, because we're going to knock this out, then we can just boss, or I'm sorry, use of standard. We can Guzma anything on the bench for game. So no, we will not search our deck. Our Silent Lab, that's fine. And I think that's going to be the game at this point. Maybe our opponent's just thinking they're going to try to deck us. That's our only strategy, but we have the game. We can just go boss, pick off poor little Magcargo on the bench, and that is going to be the game. Definitely hit him with well play. Even though this was kind of a grindy game, this was, I think, still a pretty entertaining one to see in action. So going to take down Coalossal out of the 2 VMAX decks facing off here. Alrighty guys, that's going to wrap up our look here at Togekiss VMAX. I do have to say, I do like this attack, and even back during our Vivid Voltage set review, I had some generally positive things to say about this, but I think in standard format, it's just kind of an awkward card to get up and running. You have to run things like Coco Prism Star and Lightning Energy. I think that's like one way you could get this up and running in standard. But without double colorless energy, it's like, just doesn't feel quite as good. It feels much more at home in the expanded format, I think, based on my time with this card. But yeah, feel free to check this one out. And like I said at the beginning of this video too, guys, if you are interested in seeing some more Togekiss VMAX content, I did drop an exclusive bonus list for our patrons at patreon.com/rarecandytcg. Link will be down below in the description if you do want to check that out. But that's going to wrap up things today. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Of course, if you did, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you can, feel free to support us over on Patreon, like I already mentioned. Or if you can, pick up some merch from our online store at rarecandytcg.com. It would mean a lot. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.